All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Jackson DePasquale of VYPE Media, and we're here with another edition of the St. Pius Coaches Show. We've got Coach Shaun Stevens just talking about everything St. Pius, the 10th football coach. Big win for y'all this past week, 31-23 over St. Michael's. Y'all went to their place, got the win. Just talk about getting that win, an away game, and also just having an away game that you have to drive quite a while to get over there and play that game.
Man, kudos to the admin and everybody who's over transportation, Miss Sheila. They had us riding in style, so we were pretty comfy riding down there. On the way back, everybody had their own seats and everything like that. We got to kick our feet back, so that was it wasn't as bad of a ride this year. Last year was torturous. We had to go out to a couple of those schools and supposed to be like a 4-hour drive, ended up being like a 6-hour drive. So that wasn't as bad. But as far as the game went, man, we had a lot of key players out. Not gonna say exactly who was out, but we had a lot of key players out, and to have them out and to be able to pull off that win was huge. Coaches did a great job game planning and everything like that with those particular players that were out. But each of those guys stepped up, and them stepping up allowed us to win that game, and so we got two of the guys here that kind of stepped up and helped us out to win that game. So,
Coach, just talking about having key players out and your team stepping up, what were the biggest maybe takeaways from your team, maybe offensively, defensively, that really stood out to you for the game?
um, sheesh, glad that we prepped a lot of those guys throughout the season to give them opportunities to make plays later in the season for us. So that's the first thing. As coaches, we talk about that a lot. Preparing the other guys, whether it be a younger guy or just the next person that's up, giving them opportunity throughout practice, just throughout the season. So prepping where there might be JV games, getting them some reps, and then bringing them up for varsity, or just in varsity games, kind of getting them a couple reps in. But that kind of definitely paid dividends in that game. But having those kids out and the other players stepping up and playing, I think that gave the whole team a boost of confidence. And those players that made a lot of those plays gave them even more confidence.
For sure. Now you guys go into this week, you play Central Catholic. I believe it's a home game for y'all, correct?
Antonian away.
Antonian away. Okay, sorry, scheduled.
Yeah, another long bus
Another
ride.
long road trip. But just talk about how are y'all going to use what y'all did last week and carry that onto this week, and kind of what have been your biggest keys for this week's game?
Defensively, we've been playing lights out. For us to do what we did last game defensively without some of those key players was like, oh man, like we didn't miss a beat. So again, defense has been playing very well all season, so I'm expecting them to do the same thing. But just that Tony, which has been a pretty good team the last couple of years of the program. Last year they ended up winning district. They beat Thomas, and each year is usually them and Thomas battling for a district championship. So we played St. Michael's. St. Michael's actually beat them the week before. So, I mean, that gave us a lot of confidence. Like, okay, man, now we're going to this game. We just beat them. But hopefully it doesn't give us too much confidence. Maybe that's what happened to St. Michael's. They got a big win. Then they played us, and they're kind of like, oh, man, took the foot off the gas. So we got a bye week, which is great for us to kind of prep the kids mentally and also to get some guys that are banged up back better. Offensively, got to score some points. Play fast. We're talking about had a little culture meeting today, talking about striking first and talking about just staying focused coming out of halftime. So those are definitely going to be some of our biggest things we got to do offensively. Defensively, again, like I said, they've been playing lights out. And then special teams, they've been getting better and better. We've had if not a return the last couple games, got it down to like the 4 or 5 yard line. So that's as good as a return you can get, without scoring. But I'm definitely excited. I'm more so excited having this bye week for guys to get better.
For sure. Coach, we've also got some players in here with us. Guys, why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves and kind of just give your name and position and all that good stuff.
Joe Moore, class of 2026, receiving.
My name is Luke Blackman. I play quarterback in class of 2028.
Perfect. Guys, just talking about this year, we'll start with you, Gerald. Just talking about this season, how things have been going. Just talk about getting that win on the road and what that meant for you and also the rest of the team, what to kind of step up there when you also have some of your teammates down. What did that mean for y'all to be able to step up and just kind of, take control of that game?
I think it gave us all the confidence because, last 2 weeks have been rough with us losing, both games. And then going into this week, with us not having a lot of people, our confidence was down. But when we got this win, it's definitely up now. We're ready to play in tournament.
For sure. Nick, just talking about, practice this week. Obviously, coach saying that y'all had a bye week this week. Just talk about, being able to get healthy, but what's practice been like now that y'all got a win under your belt from last week? What's practice been like this week? How's it been going so far?
I would say a lot more energetic. Kids are showing up to practice more, just working harder, wanting to feel the win again, and working a lot harder, I would say.
Gotcha. Coach, coming back to you, just through the first 7 games of this season, what have you seen from your group? What have you liked about this group now that you're kind of deeper into this schedule? What's kind of your evaluation of this group now that you're 7 games in?
Um, Man, I kind of think of it as a whole from last year to this year. We've gotten way better from offense. Well, so I'll start like this. Defense has improved drastically from last year to this year. Special teams has improved drastically from last year to this year. Offense has actually kind of been stagnant. We got a lot of explosive guys offensively, though. We got a lot of transfer that came in. The problem was a lot of them got banged up. So we got all these guys that came and then they're banged up. It's like, man. So that was one thing that's kind of, I say, like the downfall this year is that we've had a lot more injuries than any other year I ever coached, to be honest. But overall, the program is 10 times better this year than last year. And so now what we're trying to do is each game continue to get better and better. We got 4 wins on our belt right now. We got 3 games left. We win these 3 games. We're a 7-win team, which hasn't happened since freaking Greg and El was here, when they were winning all the games. And so that's the goal, and that sets us up for playoffs and then working to get in the playoffs and getting us a playoff win. So this bye week, letting our guys get healthy helps out a lot. That's probably the number one thing. But overall, like we have a lot more talent this year. And it's just about really just everybody meshing to help us become a playoff contender, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, Coach, big time week last week, bye week, big time game next week. Guys, we're going to wish y'all luck next week against Antonian. We'll be back with another edition of the St. Pius Coaches Show with Shaun Stevens next week as well. Coach, good luck. Guys, heal up, get ready for next week's game, and we'll see y'all at the games.